So your underlying energy, guys, is the Five of Cups. Underneath that is the Seven of Swords. Jesus. Alright, so the situation has a lot to do with a missed opportunity or something being gone. Something's gone, but there's mourning involved, sadness. I really feel like this is more to do with a missed opportunity than anything, because but the situation, it doesn't just surround the missing opportunity. It has a lot to do with this Two of Cups that's there. I feel like somebody thought that something was gone completely. I think there's, something was gone, something was removed, something was lost, perhaps, or not there in the not there to begin with. But the Two of Cups is emphasized. Why? Because look at what's in the heart of your reading. The King and Queen of Wands. Now, guys, this doesn't have to be a heterosexual relationship. This could be any relationship as far as, is concerned. It could be anyone and anything, these two together. It does not mean it has to be a heterosexual relationship. But what I do see is that these Two Cups are emphasized from the Five of Cups. And these two are the couple of the fire elements, alright? So the Wands suit. And they're opposing each other. Why? Why? Somebody is afraid of losing their control. They're so adamant about staying in the control of things. They're not interested in perhaps a relationship. I think somebody's definitely connecting with them or matching their energy, but that energy is literally matching them too, because they have power control issues. They're having control issues, family. There's some sort of control issues. Now, with the Four of Pentacles, the situation is showing that there's some things that were, somebody was hard. It was hard. It was hard for somebody to open up. The King of Queen of Wands, they're not ashamed of themselves. They don't mind communicating with people. They don't mind opening up. They don't mind talking to people or, expressing themselves. They are completely comfortable with who they are. And I think you're completely comfortable with who you are. But the King and Queen of Wands, they're both passionate, both fiery. The King, though, he's the master of the suit, while the Queen, she knows her stuff, she's good at it. But of course, she's not a queen. She's not the master of her suit. The King is. And what is the King of Wands good at? Doing things, taking control, taking action. He's confident in himself, He's fearless. He does what he wants to do. He's not, nothing defines him. He's very action oriented. He's very physically and energetically attractive. And I feel like what's crossing that is someone that's exactly the same. Like, the problem is not that there is differences, but the fact that there's the same. My thing is like, what is exactly is the Five of Cups even meaning for this reading? Because if we wanted to look at the Two of Cups, why didn't we just get the Two of Cups? There's something about the loss as well that is emphasized in this reading. And I feel like the Five of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, oh my gosh, the Four of Pentacles and the Hermit are connected in the sense of the Three of Cups. And the Two Cups, the King, Queen, Hierophant, King, Queen, Emperor of the reading. Then we blend it all together with the Five of Wands. This is one crazy reading. And we got combative energy here in this outcome. What's going on? It's like this energy flipped. I think these people are struggling to gain control. That's what I'm trying to get this into. That's what I'm trying to understand. Because the Hermit, oh gosh, the Hermit's over here. But the Four of Pentacles, like I said, is holding something in, keeping something in, not opening up, closing yourself off, sticking and clinging to a comfort zone. It's not opening up. We're choosing to remain reclusive. And there's some energy here regarding somebody choosing to remain reclusive. That's totally opposite from the fire energy. So look, here's the thing too. This could be only one person here, right? It could be just you, or someone else. But somebody's faking. It looks like someone's faking their confidence. Someone really isn't as confident as they say they are. Because look at where they start out. This is totally opposite from the King and Queen of Wands energy. They will not be holding nothing back. Somebody was holding back. Somebody wasn't opening up. Somebody wasn't communicating. Somebody wasn't being expressive. Somebody was holding stuff in and clinging to their comfort zone. Somebody was resisting. And then they have the Emperor here in the present. That's all about control, exerting power, taking action, stubborn. Their way of the highway. I think this is crazy. It's like somebody was holding stuff back, and then now they're wanting to exert their energy. They're wanting to do their thing their own way. That could be the reason why this person wasn't expressive in the first place, because they knew that they were going to want things the way that they wanted them. Somebody was totally aggressive about how they wanted something to go down. Or they just were not interested in negotiating that. But then somebody at the same time was the same energy. That practically tells me nothing, but it does tell me enough that I need to know. And from what it looks like here is that the reason why the King and Queen of Wands are crossing the energies like this is because, yeah, there's a little bit of smoke and mirrors being thrown up here that both of them need to see a little bit closely. Both parties need to look at a little closely at the situation. Could it be also that is indicating that there's a fantasy or just some sort of romantic chemistry between these two people, but when it comes to committing to both one another, they both have their own ways about making that happen. You know, it's hard to negotiate what path and what direction both parties are going to go into regarding romantic lifestyle together, because they have their own ideas of what makes them happy, and they have their own way of going about doing that. They don't want to compromise that energy up. What's interesting, though, is that you have opposing energies throughout this entire reading. You have the Emperor that talks about taking action, doing things, being stubborn. Four of Swords doesn't do anything. Four of Swords is not doing anything whatsoever. The Four of Swords is taking a rest, taking a pause, reflecting. So whatever the hell is going on here, it's like somebody's been there's a power play, and there's like a break. And I don't think it's aggressive in the sense of like people are fighting each other, but I feel like they're kind of leading to that. Somebody is not interested in negotiating where they're going to go. And the Hierophant to me, the Hermit to me with the situation looks like they go the separate ways. Because it can't come down to a consensus as to what they want to do together. I think they see each other going their own separate ways because they can't negotiate. They can't figure out what path to go on to together. I think they're recognizing that the dynamic in that relationship is very strong in the sense of the control aspect. Both parties have control issues. Both parties want to control something. They don't want to release any of their own control. They want to control themselves. And that's the only thing anybody needs to worry about. And I think that's where we kind of get caught up, is that maybe there's an overextension of the power. Because it looks like everybody wants to control a bit of something. But everybody's forgetting that they can just control themselves and just have a goal, and similar goal together. Everybody's unique characteristics, everybody's way of doing things, their ego, it doesn't have to clash. But it is clashing because of the process. Now, I think this is kind of getting tough to kind of work together, but those two are meant to work together. They're couples. It's not like the King and Queen of Swords where you have to really worry. You could be dealing with a fire sign, like I said before, but I don't think this is the case. Okay, and honestly, it doesn't even matter. The point of it all is that there is this just power struggle here. And it's because everybody wants certain things to be a certain way, but everybody should just be focusing on themselves. Because that's why the Five of Wands is in your goal, aim, ambition / advice. right? You guys want to resolve the conflict. And I don't think this is a conflict between you and this other person where it very well could be, but I feel like this is internal conflict. Because some of you guys do want to have something with this person. You guys definitely feel the connection. You guys are both coming up as the same energy. You guys really are coming up as both the same energy, but you guys are both extremely stubborn and both have your own way of doing stuff that you are not looking to compromise on. So therefore, be it like, that's cool. Just don't try to fight each other about what should each other do. Just find the path in which you guys go about doing things the best way you guys can. You know, in your own way. Find a goal, have a dream, do it your own separate ways. Right? Which is why the hermit may be coming up in here, soul searching, trying to figure out, heal your inner self. But your outcome is just, that's what's confused. Like, what are you fighting for? Like, it's like, you fighting for your own stance on what your dreams should be? Is somebody trying to take over your dreams? Is someone trying to make you rethink your dreams? Is someone trying to take over your life? Maybe that's why you wouldn't open up in the first place, because somebody was controlling in the matter. Maybe someone is controlling, and at first it was really nice and really sweet, but then as you got on to start to see the real picture of things, you're starting to see that somebody has a little bit of a control situation. They're saying that all is not lost. There's no breakup in sight. That is just, there's two cups still remaining, which is you and this other person, the King and Queen of Cups. Excuse me, the King and Queen of Wands. You guys can do things together, but it's about figuring out how to work together rather than fighting each other on how you do stuff. Somebody is not liking how something is going. And I feel like the only thing anybody should really be worried about is what they're doing personally in their own arena. Handle your 50 and let the other person handle their 50. If it starts to overlap, if it starts to cross lines, if it starts to, offend people, then yeah, the Five of Wands is the need to kind of come up with a better idea, a better consensus, a better solution. But the Nine of Swords is saying continue to fight. That's what it's like. Somebody's fighting for what they believe in, fighting for their truth. You know? Someone is still fighting for their truth here. And it's saying the Five of Wands is like still fighting for your truth, fighting for what you believe in. But I don't know. The Hermit looks like you guys decided to go separate ways. And if that's what you decide to do, you do it. But this is saying that even though you guys are running into a lot of funk, there's a lot you guys can do together. You just have to overcome the stuff that is not really clear and not making sense. Take a closer look at it and really work on building a foundation for there to be a balanced, cohesive work companion. Breathe. Okay? Alright. Like, seriously. I see that. Breathe. You know what that means. I was telling Sagittarius this, I think. Time to relax. Whatever is going on, it's just a lot of overexerting power. Egos are getting in the way. Everybody's looking to get really aggressive. And everybody needs to just take a moment to relax a little bit. And I think that's what's going on. I think that's why the Five of Swords is with the Emperor here. It's like there is a need for everybody to just breathe for a moment. Take a break, come back. Because I think everybody's getting pissed off with each other. Make the effort is coming in here. I agree. There's still something you guys can work with. You guys have the same freaking energy. Y'all just not seeing eye to eye right now. And that doesn't mean you won't ever see eye to eye. It's just that right now you just need to figure out how to work together. Because right now everybody's angry. Everybody's pissed off, man. Everybody's confused. They're not sure how to work together. It's going to take a second for there to be a good balance first. Let there be time to figure that out. But you gotta be calm with this. Because when you guys get angry, you guys separate and don't talk for a little bit. Keep things to yourself. I feel like this is the second time around. Rodeo number 2. Or round 2, rather. Or how many ever times you guys be arguing. But instead of arguing and getting your egos all, messed up and stuff, focus on an actual solution. Because this is what this card is about. It's a challenge. Yeah! It's not actually getting pissed off and wanting to hurt people. It's about finding a solution. It's overcoming the challenge, and you guys can do that together. But it's about focusing on the task at hand. And if you guys have different approaches of doing that, has find some way to work together to get it done, so you guys don't, clash. But first, there needs to be a little bit of peace. Time to take that Four of Swords energy with the breathing. Take a little bit of a break. Because I'm getting amped up and annoyed just by looking at this reading. Because I could tell the tense and the intense energy, and I don't think I've ever been able to really feel it like that before. I've seen some angry ass readings, but this is definitely gonna be number 2, because Aries was just as messed up. Everybody's getting pissed off. Everybody's getting tense. Everybody just needs to take a breathing in and out. Just take a moment to just center yourself before you go into it again. And then don't go into it fire blazing, looking to kill somebody with the sword. Don't do that, because that's not going to help you get any sort of consensus. Honestly, go in there with the intention to fix the problem. Not the problem between you two, what you guys are trying to get to. And if the problem arises again when you guys are arguing about each other's way of doing stuff, then yeah, you guys are going to have to sit down and have a peaceful conversation with that as much as you possibly can. But that dynamic, the Queen of Wands, King of Wands, that's a powerful ass dynamic. They're strong together. Yeah, you may be dealing with a lot of BS at this moment. You may be dealing with a lot of stuff. But trust me, avoiding it is not going to help. Just saying, nah, forget it, I'm not having this conversation with you, it's not going to help.